Good morning, Unity community. I am your host, Janet Law, and I welcome you to our gathering here at Unity Center in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. We warmly welcome all people, all faiths, and all lifestyles. Today we stand upon the unceded ancestral lands of the Musqueam Nation, noble guardians of these lands since time immemorial. It's here that we gather to learn, grow, and celebrate our oneness with Spirit. And if you're joining us on Zoom or YouTube, welcome, welcome, welcome. Our mission here at Unity of Vancouver is simple. We build personal community well-being through universal spiritual teachings and practices. So let's get into it now. Please now join me in our opening invocation. All together now, there is one presence and one power, active in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And now please join us singing this morning's group song, Everything I Need to Know.
Everything I need to know about what lies before me. Everything I need to know about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything I need to do about what lies before me, everything I need to do about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything I need to behold about what lies before me, everything I need to behold about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything I need to be strong about what lies before me, everything I need to be strong about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything I need to be at peace about what lies before me, everything I need to be at peace about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything I need to know about what lies before me, everything I need to know about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me, through the mind of God within me, through the mind of God within me, through the mind of God within me.
Thank you, Nathan and Tom. Thank you, Nathan and Tom. Today's daily word, Unity's daily word, is prosperity. I am prosperous in all ways. Let's say that together. I am prosperous in all ways. To be prosperous may include financial wealth and possessions, but it is so much more. It includes spiritual wealth and health, as well as joy and satisfaction. Today, I focus on the ways in which I am prosperous, and I realize the many ways I am blessed. I experience prosperity through my material comforts, but I also feel prosperous through the amazing functioning of my physical body and my active mind. I am prosperous through the spiritual bond I have with God and the deep peace it gives me. I am grateful for my prosperity in its many manifestations. I give thanks, I am thoroughly blessed and prospered in mind, body, and soul. And from Isaiah 65, then you shall see to be radiant, your heart shall thrill and rejoice, because the abundance of the sea shall be brought to you, the wealth of the nations shall come to you. And that is happening right now. And now, let us open ourselves to receive what we need most from this message with 5 powerful affirmations. All together now. I trust the wisdom within me. I act with confidence rooted in spiritual truth. My inner peace reveals the way forward, and I welcome clarity with an open heart. I rest in the presence of divine wisdom. So it is my pleasure now to welcome and to introduce today's speaker, Reverend Cheryl Brewster. She is an ordained minister of metaphysics with over 20 years of experience in intuitive development, mediumship, spiritual counseling, and human performance leadership coaching. She weaves together metaphysics, psychology, and neuroscience to help others awaken to the greater awareness, purpose, and joy. Her sermons, talks, workshops, shared in both corporate and spiritual communities. She explores the neuroscience of spiritual awakening with depth, heart, and a touch of humor. Please join me in giving a big unity welcome to Cheryl Brewster.
Thank you, Jen. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
And who doesn't love music like this? Today, we're going to talk about your life as a movie. And if you had to give your life a title as a movie, what would it be? And if it had a theme song, what would it be? And it's so exciting to consider your life as a movie, because when you are comprised of the infinite, you can be satisfied with nothing less than the infinite. So today is a chance to tweak ourselves, to remember that we are infinite beings. And this lifetime is a chapter in that infinity. We're here to remember our experience as the infinite that we are. So let's go into meditation and prepare ourselves for what's coming next. Take a deep breath. Allow your shoulders to drop. And allow your body to relax and settle. This body of yours is beautifully, intricately created. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this body that I have. I forgive myself for all the ways that I have taken it for granted, perhaps even abused it, and been neglectful in giving it what it needs. As you breathe and release any error thinking in regards to your body, and prepare your heart to receive that spirit within you with deeper messages, more knowing, to open your heart to receive all that you need today. Breathing in and breathing out as I speak, your awareness on the breath, the bridge between your humanity and your divinity. You are breathing the breath of God. You are the expression of the divine. You have within you powers beyond your highest imagination. So sink deeper into it. Today is a chance to come to stillness, to listen to the invitation, the I am presence within you. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any person will open the door, I will come in. Breathe into merging even deeper and even more with the divine intelligence inside you. Surrender to it. It knows what to do. Be still and listen for the next 2 minutes of silence. In a world that is so busy with noise, isn't it wonderful to come together and be silent in unison with the many hearts here in person, the many hearts on Zoom, the many hearts that will watch this recording later? It is in stillness that we merge with the infinite power within us. It is in stillness that we come home where it's safe, where we replenish, where we fill anything that has been empty, where we comfort any hurt, we heal any sorrow, and we replenish any emptiness. You were made for joy. You are comprised of the infinite, and nothing less than the infinite will satisfy your beautiful heart. Bless yourself as the expression of divinity in this human experience and in your physical body. Anchor bold choice to take God at her word, his word, your word. Be bold in remembering and demonstrating and applying the truth. I am an infinite being. And in the movie of my life, all there is God. It's all a play. And today I am here to be replenished so that I play my part well. I am the joy of God's desire, and I live that way. So take a moment to breathe into your heart and receive all that is here for you today, to receive all that you brought here today, your magnificence being shown to you in ways that you can no longer ignore and must listen to. When you open your eyes, open them and look through the eyes of the infinite, the power of God that dwells inside you. And when you're ready, come back into this beautiful auditorium and know that something has changed within you. And the invitation is to take that change into the rest of the day, the rest of the week, the rest of your life, because life is a movie, and you are all of the characters, the actor, the director, the producer, the screenwriter, and the audience. And our prayer today is, dear God, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is the expression of the divine. I am it. And I choose to own it and live it with more surrender, to more embodiment of peace and presence, so that this world that is in such chaos can be blessed by my contribution, because I can and do make a difference, because I've listened to this calling inside my own heart. I will do the thing that I think I cannot do, because there is an infinite presence within me that has the power to do it. And that is my invitation to you today.
Stop, take a break. Whatever can wait. Allow here and now to unfold. Let wisdom come quietly in to your heart. Be still and find peace in your soul. Like a seedling in the springtime, ripe and ready on its tree. Disconnect from all your worries and be free. Like a gently flowing river that surrenders to the sea. Empty out your expectations and just be. And breathe, contemplate. Whatever can wait. Allow here and now to unfold. Let wisdom come quietly in to your heart. Be still and find peace in your soul. Everything has its own season. Everything has its own place. Everything has its own purpose, its own grace. Like a happy smiling baby playing with her favorite toy. You are here to know and savor complete joy. So stop, take a break. Let all the rest wait. Allow here and now to wisdom come quietly in to your heart, still find peace in your soul.
Well, wasn't that the best song to introduce this talk? It doesn't get any better than this, does it? And you know, I love, love, love this sanctuary. My heart has been broken open in this sanctuary, even though I have not been a regular attendee here many years ago. Something very special happened. So whenever I'm back in this room, I remember, and I'm anchored and reminded. And that's what I'd like to talk to you about today. The last time I was here, I talked about the ABCs of intuition, and I reminded all of us that we're like butterflies. And when the caterpillar goes through that cocoon stage and turns into mush, we are in this really weird space, and it's not comfortable at all. And it is a space we must all traverse to go through to the other side when we find our wings. And as I was preparing today's message, you know what really hit me hard was my commitment to let life be easier. Because we have the tension of opposites. We have our primal brain that's only concerned about survival. That's it. It totally discounts the positive and is constantly looking for danger. And then we have the awakened brain, which is when God's in charge, our brain physically changes, which means our thought patterns do too. And I was inspired by the teachings of Unity, so I did a little bit of research on the Fillmores. I knew something about them, but what I learned blew me away. They were both so far ahead of their time. By them spending time in meditation, in prayer, applying the tools that happened to them personally, they created a movement. They changed the world. And we carry that torch. And as I was thinking about my own life and all the trials and tribulations that I've been through, I know that all there is God. I know that. And there's this human part that is constantly being reminded. So what would happen if we made it a little bit easier? And I believe it's only by one choice, that we finally accept that all there is God. That's it. And if that's the case, then the movie of your life can have a whole different plot. and all the twists and turns in your life can become those cliffhangers of excitement. It doesn't mean we're not going to have challenge in our lives. What it does mean is that we can meet those challenges with grace. We can meet them with strength. We can meet them and use them to call on the divinity within us as us. And there's one word that has always struck me, is the word separation. Because you may know that you are one with God, but sometimes it may not always feel that way. Would you agree? And it's in those feelings, those wiggly, niggly feelings, that emotional intelligence is really important to learn, that emotional regulation, so that you're not swept away by your feelings. So here is the divine comedy or the divine tragedy. Which way will you go? The universe holds its breath to wait and see. So today I'd love to walk you through the movie of your life and take a moment and let's do an inventory. And are you giving yourself gratitude for what you have done well? Let's start there. Because remember, our primal brain totally ignores that. But the divinity within us sees the good. It knows the good. It remembers the good. And that's why I'd like to review the 5 principles of unity today. There's only one presence and one power active as the universe and as my life, God the good. Have you really accepted that? And as you look at your own life, and you know the areas you have, and you know the areas you haven't, how quickly can you come to forgiveness? To forgive yourself for the times that you forgot, and to recognize that your humanity is learning how to act like that. It's learning. And so the greatest gift we have is an open heart to learn, so that when we make a mistake or we forget or we're unkind or we lose our temper, that instead of punishing ourselves over and over again, we go, wait a minute, stop the bus. What can I learn from this? The learning of which allows me to move forward more positively. I wish I'd known that when I was a young mom. Under stress, trying to keep everything moving properly so that we're on time, making lunches and going to work and all that stuff. And the number of times I did lose my temper, I did get impatient, and the number of times that I couldn't seem to get myself out of that cycle, no matter how much I tried. It wasn't until years later that I realized, wait a minute. These neural pathways in the brain have taken a long time to get there. They're not easy to change. And so I talked to my son and I said, look, when you know I'm starting to get impatient and go off, let's have a code word. So we decided that it would be, I love you, Mom. And you know something? It worked. Whenever he could see it before I could. And he'd say, I love you, Mom. And that changed everything. There is only one presence and one power active as the universe and as my life, God the good. When I forget, how fast will I come back to remember that and forgive myself? That's what changes the scene in the movie. So that you're not replaying that old part again and again. The second principle, we are inherently divine because we are expressions of God. We are inherently divine, and that's why I love neuroscience, because it takes us from the primal brain to the awakened brain. I am divine in my humanity, so why do I keep judging myself when I make a mistake or I forget? What if the plot is set up in such a way that it's designed to help me strengthen the divinity within the human experience and to love the human experience as I do it. So that's what I call the ABCs of intuition today. Your life is a movie. It's a bold choice, ABC, a bold choice to live the divinity within this human experience, which takes us to the third principle. Our thoughts have creative power. So take a step back. Is the movie of your life the way you want it to be? So I asked this question: is it a gong show, a horror show, or the epic adventure of your life? And this is where we have to bring in a little bit of humor, don't we? Taking a step back. Through prayer and meditation, we align ourselves with God. When we take a step back, we're looking through the eyes of wisdom. We're looking through the eyes of the infinite. We're not so caught up in the tendency to separate ourselves from the power within us. The fifth principle, we live the truth we know through our thoughts, words, and actions. So, thoughts, words, and actions. Life is like a movie. It has plot twists, surprise characters, scenes we would gladly edit out, and occasionally a soundtrack that makes no sense at all. Spiritual intelligence is not about dogma. It's not about forcing your beliefs on someone else. It is about embodying this creative, infinite intelligence within you. And if that's the case, then we are sitting on gold mines of consciousness. Gold mines. And we are called to express this divinity within us because we have the power to do so. One of my favorite quotes that I say to myself quite often when I go to do something new, because I tell you something, when we go to do something new, the human side gets threatened, and all these chemical reactions take place in the body. We don't feel so great. And it's like, remember, when you do something new, that's kind of what happens. So instead of letting fear be in the director's chair of your movie, take a step back, aware, breathe, connect, because the breath is everything. The breath is the bridge between your physical and divine experience. That's why it's so important. And that's why when we connect to the heart and to the breath, now we're sending signals out into the field that are coherent. Now we're sending signals out into the field where this infinite power within us is magnetizing the entire field. And when we bring peace to our own lives, that war between Russia and the Ukraine, that conflict in Gaza, that horrendous shooting, oh my. All those things being played out on the world scene, all of those things being played out on the collective consciousness of humanity. And you and I have a responsibility and an accountability to look at our own hearts and say, where am I in conflict? And because all there is God, where have I created separation in my own life? Because that separation is being reflected in the world at large. So at Unity, we have the opportunity to go, wow, there's a bigger picture going on. It's a bigger picture than going to work every day and coming back. It's a bigger picture. We are infinite beings, and we're having this experience of being infinite in a finite place. How cool is that? That's like a science fiction movie. And it's your life. So let's get on it. Time travel is prayer. When you begin and end your day, it's like a chapter in an infinite never-ending story. I love, love, love talking about God. Because when I do, it anchors within me. That's me. I am continually surrendering myself to be an expression and a vehicle of love. Continually. And I use my humanity to do it. How dirty or clean is the lens I'm looking through? When I get triggered, I just want to put the blame out there, I'm telling you. And every time I do, it's like, oh, wait a minute. They're just an actor on my stage. I put them there. It changes our perception of how we see others because we see ourselves differently. When we leave this earth, what's going to really matter? Live that way. So, I have a good friend. He's a French philosopher. His name is André Gide, and this is what he had to say. What seems different in yourself, that is the rare thing you possess, the one thing which gives each of us his worth, and that is just what we try to suppress. We imitate, and we claim to love life. Boy, the first time I heard that quote, it just hit me in the heart. Because I knew that the infinite within me had something more for me that I was not listening to, because the human side's going, who, me? No way, I can't do that. Oh, but the divine side's going, it's already a done deal. Just park yourself under that reality. It already exists. Christ consciousness existed before Jesus was born. It exists in all of us. And he is such a great example because he took it on. He took that role on. He expressed it. Can you imagine the nerve that Christ had? Jesus the man had? What seems different in yourself? That is the rare thing you possess, the one thing which gives each of us his worth, and that is just what we try to suppress. Are you suppressing the divinity within you? Are you suppressing the call that God has for you to love yourself no matter what? Because you know something, it hurts to do that. It hurts. And it paralyzes us. And I have done it too long in my life to not speak out loud anymore and say, please, let's not do that anymore. Because we all do. Can we tell the truth to ourselves and say, I know that there is a force within me that is so wonderful and so beautiful and is me, and I pledge my life to live that way. This is the call. And this is what is so wonderful about spiritual practice, because it calls us to be the leaders that we are. You are a leader in your life. The movie of your life reflects the leadership that you have said yes or no to. And there's many wonderful stories to learn from. Jonah in the belly of the whale, refusing the call because he didn't want to go to Nineveh to talk to the people there. He was like, oh, no, not me. And what happened? I can't imagine spending that much time inside the belly of a well. However, we've each had that experience, haven't we? It's called hell on earth. Hell and heaven are not places, they're states of being, and we've experienced them both. I know which one feels better. So we have this thing called the ego that wants its own way, and we can understand it when we realize, hey, there's a primal brain that wants to protect itself, so we can understand it. And we can also understand that left unchecked, that carnal nature, that human side, can and will lead to destruction. So the tension of opposites, it's the perfect movie. What a cliffhanger. How's it going to end? What if each day is like the trailer of the next scene tomorrow? We have a responsibility to let life be easier. We have a responsibility to let joy lead. Did you know that Charles Fillmore loved going to the movies? He did. And I wonder if it's not because when we sit down to watch a movie, we can just chill out. And movies are wonderful because we can live the archetypal stories through somebody else. We can relate to the difficulties without having to go through them by watching a movie. We can learn. And we can ride the wave of synchronicity that goes with it. Today in prayer time, Melba prayed with me. And she shared a book she read recently called Slowing Down to the Speed of Joy. Isn't that good? That's the kind of movie I want in my life. How about you? And then Janet shared how she'd had a massage with somebody, and it's like all there is God. He was reminding her as she was relaxing into the experience. All there is God, which means that this movie of your life is you waking up and saying, wow, what Christ did, I can do, because that Christ consciousness is me. I'm not separate from it. And so, we get some really exciting plot twists going on, don't we? I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me, Paul wrote to the Philippians. The Fillmores knew this. I can do all things. Myrtle, who healed herself of tuberculosis, she didn't wait till she was better. She believed it, lived it, and acted it before she was healed. And that's why I love the metaphor of a movie. Because when you're the actor on the stage, imposter syndrome is not that, oh no, I couldn't possibly do that. You know what imposter syndrome is? Imposter syndrome is you saying you can't. That's imposter syndrome. Infinite intelligence is you. So let's have more fun using it. Play, fun, joy. You know why they're so important, why we need them? It takes a lot of energy to create a new habit, which is why we need to stock ourselves up on joy. We need that energy when we go through the valleys and the shadows. Christ said, I came that you might have life and live it more abundantly. The fruits of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, gentleness, goodness, faith, temperance. Against such, there is no law. So in our human experience, the divinity of humanity is to remember that we're like, our bodies are like little babies. We're learning how to walk in them. We're learning how to talk in them. We're learning to be the spiritual giants that we are. What would happen to the world if we all thought this way? What would happen? Empires have risen and fallen throughout the history of humanity. You know what the difference is today? You're here. You are here. You are the one to make the difference. You are the one to look at your life as a movie, heaven or hell, and say, not on my watch. We cross a bridge, and when we cross that bridge, there is an ego death. Something does need to die. Make it a good death. That thing that is rare within you, that you know God has called you to, your resistance to it, that's creating hell on earth, because that's separation. You don't need to do it, but you will continue to until you surrender separation to oneness. Find that place inside you right now that may not feel so good, and send some compassion to it. The ego mind works with the critical voice. The divine mind works with the compassionate voice. There's a reason we don't listen. Sometimes we're scared. Sometimes we were taught that right is wrong. So now we understand why we delay. We understand why we procrastinate. We understand why we sabotage. What if they're rites of passage rather than things to be judged and beat ourselves up for? What if they're invitations? What if anxiety is letting you know, hey, you're right on track because there's something inside you that is stronger than the anxiety, and the anxiety is trying to show you. The very gift of consciousness that has come into your life is the very gift that you repel. Not on my watch. I've done that for far too long. And as I step back and look at the movie of my life, the many times that I thought I was right, the many times that I thought I knew, but there's always more learning, and there's always more grace. You are the one you've been waiting for. I heard that so many times throughout my life. It was here many years ago in that church, in this church, that I thought, one day I'd love to be up on this stage talking about this. And here I am, and I'm so grateful. I can tell you it was not an easy path to get here. It was a path of doubt and who am I? It was a path of doing things I didn't want to do. I just came back from podcast boot camp where we're putting together our podcast to take into the world. And there are parts of me that are totally confident, and I am in the glory of God. It's amazing. And there are other parts where you go to do your podcast and you're going, ugh, and it all dries up, and you go, I don't know what I want to say. I don't know why I'm here, and I don't know what to do. And it was shocking to me. It was like, whoa, where did that come from? It's called growth. And I'm reminded by a beautiful phrase I heard that said, if you're not embarrassed by who you were last year, you're not stretching enough. So we need to take action before we feel confident. We need to trust that everything really is okay, even though it may not feel that way. The Fillmores worked that out for themselves by practicing something that worked. We have a beautiful path to follow in how they included the Christ consciousness and the metaphysics of a bigger world where life is more than just going to work and coming home again and paying the bills. No, it's so much more. It's this exciting journey and adventure in consciousness where you get to experience yourself as this infinite being. Anchor by choice. That's the practice. So I'd like to end with this invitation to you. Do not break alignment with the Christ consciousness within you. You are not here to pretend to be someone else. You are here to live the part you were created to play. So how will you leave church today and live the rest of your week? Will you continue to participate in the gong show, the horror show, or the epic adventure of your life, recognizing that you are outgrowing an old identity all the time? Remember the unity principles of the God within you, that all there is God. By practicing those ABCs of intuition, a bold choice, anchor, practice, bold, take action even though you may not feel ready, and C, choice, practice the principles. My thoughts have creative power. I live the truth. I know my thoughts, words, and actions. You don't need the whole screenplay. You don't need everyone else's approval. You don't need to wait until the fear disappears. You only need the next true line, the next brave scene, the next faithful choice. Life is like a movie. So do not hand the director's chair to fear. Anchor bold choice. The love within you guides and directs you. You are never separate from that love. Anchor that bold choice. And when that choice is made, again and again and again, your physical brain actually changes shape. The primal brain becomes the awakened brain. And this is the second coming of Christ. When we invite superconsciousness into the subconscious. This is what you were born for. Live your movie well. Hold character in everyday life when you're tempted, and believe me, we're tempted. Hold character. Act the part, no matter what, because that is divine inspiration in action. You have proved it many times already. It's time for more. Lights, camera, action. I'd like to just end in a prayer. Mother, Father, God, Creator, all that is, thank you, thank you, thank you for what brought us to this place. Thank you that life is a daring adventure. Thank you for reminding us to stay on top of all of our human emotions. Thank you for reminding us not to judge the physical experience. Thank you for reminding us how quickly can we come back to forgiveness when we do make a mistake or when we do get scared, when that primal brain is just ramped up. Thank you for reminding us that it is the breath that is the bridge. And thank you, thank you, thank you that we can do what feels impossible. It's already done. We're lining ourselves up to it. Thank you for helping us to walk, talk, think, and act as if we've already done it, for that is the practice of Christ consciousness. So be it. Amen.
All the time we have is now, and all the place we have is here, and all that matters is to live with open hearts and give, 'cause all we have is here and now. In this moment, let's allow all that's precious to be clear, 'cause all that matters is to love. That's all we're in need of, and all we have is here and now. If we dare let go what's behind us, there's no telling how light we might feel. Let's the fullness of being and rediscover what's been concealed. What's ahead is nothing but mystery that all our worry won't help to reveal. Best to be relaxed in the present, where all our power to make changes real. All the time we have is now, and all the place we have is here, and all that matters is to live with open hearts and give, 'cause all we have is here and now. In this breath is all that's important. Reawaken all that's set free. Tears of joy and peals of laughter are both eager for us to say yes. Here and now, the magic and wonder, what we want to settle for less. All the time we have is now. All that matters is to live with open hearts and give, 'cause all we have is here and now. So in this moment, let's allow all that's precious to be clean, 'cause all that matters is to love. That's all we're in need of, and all we have is here and now. All that matters is to live with open hearts and give, 'cause all we have is here and now. Here and now. Here and now. Here and now.
Time for Tom Martinson and Nathan as well. And thank you, Cheryl, for a fabulous talk. Ideas that filled these papers front and back. Oh my goodness. Okay, couple of things that I really heard today. Be a leader anchored by source. Let's say that together. Be a leader anchored by source. How powerful is that? And thank you for bringing in the idea about the unity movement and what it birthed and how it has created this global movement that is actually anchored in source and your divine spiritual evolution. So powerful. You know, I remember a few years ago, many years ago actually, a practice that I would do with a friend. We'd get together once a week, and if there was anything that had come up in our minds that we wanted to change, we would imagine ourselves in a movie theater, and the projectionist, because back then we had projectionists up there, and we would imagine what we thought we saw, and we would change the movie. We'd go up in our minds and change the movie that was being shown on the screen. That's a pattern interrupt that can totally and absolutely enhance any movie that you're being played right now. So, you know, this idea of action now and changing the movie in the moment, even better than, you know, waiting a few days. So every day, imagining yourself with changing that movie. And the last thing I will say is about your talk is, remember that your humanity is learning to be your divinity. Your divinity is always there, but this idea that humanity brings forward opportunities for us to grow. We have a few very fun things coming up. The first one is right here, right now, at Unity next week, after the service, and we have a great speaker next week as well. We are having our annual Unity picnic. So right after the service, no gathering downstairs, we'll be gathering in nature. We would love to see you right after the service next week. We will be gathering as soon as we can all get there. So it says here 1:30, but I think we can probably get there earlier than that. Let's plan on getting there at 12:45. Anyways, it will be good food, laughter, and community at Maple Grove Park, located at 6875 U Street. We will have maps available for people. It's very, very easy to get to. And actually, that has been a traditional park that Unity of Vancouver has always met at. We've had a few diversions over the years, but that's the park that always was the park that everybody gathered at in the very beginning of this center. We would love you to please bring a dish to share, a lawn chair, any lawn games or musical instruments that you'd like to enjoy with others. Whether you are reconnecting with familiar faces or meeting someone new, it's a wonderful opportunity to relax, celebrate summer, and spend time together as community. And as a special treat, we will have singer, songwriter extraordinaire Lawrence Kirby. Now, Lawrence Kirby comes from a real background of Unity, at Unity in White Rock, was always one of their main musicians there, and has continued. Every week he performs with his band out in White Rock there. But if you want to have a fun sing-along and you want to have a guy who is fun and humorous and brings things to life, Lawrence Kirby is your fella. Just like these fellas here. I mean, do you not do the same thing? Yes. Lawrence offered to come and do this for us, and so we're very, very grateful. And he did want to come and be at this picnic with us. So I think we have some exciting things to look forward to. So also we are actually doing our final, I guess, edits, confirmations on a fall program, which you'll all be hearing about. We have got some exciting things happening here at Unity of Vancouver, and you will not want to miss any of them. So very, very exciting. So We also want to remind you about Reflective Roundtable, and Reflective Roundtable is that place after the service where you can go downstairs and be in a group of like-minded people where you can share insights, deep listening, and meaningful connection to a welcoming, structured space. We also want you to know about Course in Miracles, which meets every Tuesday between 12:30 and 2:30 in the lower level. Learn alongside like-minded individuals as you expand awareness. All are welcome. Your presence enriches the circle. And we've got Margaret over there who leads up that with Marion, so grateful and glad you're here. And now we want to also talk about World Day of Prayer. So a little video we're going to show here, and then I'm going to introduce our prayer chaplains in a moment.
Hello, I'm Reverend Maggie Alderman, and I'm honored to serve as director of the Unity prayer ministry called Silent Unity. It's almost time again for our annual World Day of Prayer. I want to issue a personal invitation for you to be a part of it. There are so many ways you can participate as we join in affirmative prayer with people all over the world. Everything I'm about to tell you can also be found at worlddayofprayer.org. Right now, you may submit your own prayer request to be included in the 24-hour prayer vigil that starts the evening of September 9th and runs through the evening of September 10th. The theme this year is Love is Alive. Send us the names of people you love, and we will add them to the tens of thousands of prayer requests that are always a part of this powerful vigil. We'll also keep their names in prayer for the next 30 days. On World Day of Prayer itself, you can join us online to watch the opening ceremony on Wednesday night, as well as other activities happening on Thursday. I'll be one of the speakers along with Reverend Kathy Beasley and Tracy Riley, who work with me in the prayer ministry. Our special guest musician is none other than the Reverend Michael Gott from Unity of Houston. The online event is free, but you'll need to sign up so we can send you the Zoom link. Better yet, come to Unity Village in Missouri and join us in person. You can come for World Day of Prayer itself or join us for the 5-day Silent Unity prayer retreat that surrounds it. Silent Unity was created by Myrtle Fillmore, who founded Unity with her husband Charles in 1889. They began to offer prayer to anyone who asked, and we still do that 24 hours a day, every day of the year, by telephone or online. Silent Unity is always here for you, and because we are, feel free to get in touch anytime. But remember, especially the ceremonies around World Day of Prayer, September 9th and 10th. Again, look for all this information at worlddayofprayer.org. We hope to see you with us online or in person.
Okay. And you know, we have our prayer chaplains here who have been doing this incredible work here in our center. And next week, you'll hear a little bit more about how we're going to be expanding World Day of Prayer, because we know how much we appreciate our prayer chaplains. So we want to now affirm our prayer chaplains, and our prayer chaplains today are Shirley Thompson, Melba Burns, Brian Law, and Carolyn Conlin on Zoom. Can I have you stand? I don't know where Mr. Law is at the back there. There he is. Okay. Yeah. Yes. And if you would, yes. If you would like to receive a confidential prayer, our chaplains will be waiting for you in the front, in the front row, after the music. And I know we have a little bit of happy music right after the service, and then we'll go right into prayer. Please join us downstairs for music. No, please join us downstairs after the music. Maybe we should start music downstairs. That would be a good idea. we want you to join us for coffee, tea, cookies, and conversation, or you can also join our round table. And next Sunday, we bring back Stephanie Karlovitz for Be There Now, exploring how we can bring there into the present moment. Watch our website for all details and how to tune in online if you can't make it in person next week. We got that picnic after, so we want you all to be there. Just thought of something. We do need people who will just assist that day, just to put the food out and arrange things. And I also need someone who would be willing to take our tables to the actual park. So you can check in at the bookstore with Fern if you're willing to help us to do that, because we do need to have places to put the food to serve. So now we bring our gathering to a close. Please stand and let us together say our prayer for protection. All together now. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Please remain standing as we sing the peace song. If you are on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. We send our love and look forward to seeing you next week. If you're on Zoom and want to pray confidentially with a chaplain in a prayer private room, please accept your breakout invitation, which will pop up on your screen shortly. Thank you so much for joining us, and see you all next week, and God bless.